All right, welcome back. Today we're still going to talk about finding rational zeros. Obviously, with this warm-up, I can't really have you guys do this in class the same way we would as if I were there. So my advice to you, actually work this out on your own, okay? Pause the video, okay? That's the only way you're going to be able to do these. Work it out, get an answer, and then go ahead and try. And then I'll come back and show you the answer. Okay, hopefully you guys have an answer by now. So, what we need to do, okay? We're going to find the zeros. We'll look at factors of 36. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36. Looks like we got quite the collection there. Okay, however, our factors of 1 are just 1. So our possibilities, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 4, plus or minus 6, plus or minus 9, plus or minus 12, plus or minus 18, plus or minus 36. Go back, put all my commas in. So, there's all the possibilities, okay? Hopefully, since you guys worked this out ahead of time, you guys know that 1 and negative 1 do not work. So, I have to try something else. Really just kind of taking a peek here. I'm going to check 2. So I'm going to go 1, 9, negative 4, negative 36. And drop your 1 below the line. Go 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 times 2 is 22. 10 plus negative 4 is going to give me a positive 18. And times 2 is 36, which is 0. And I can factor x squared plus 11x plus 18. Okay, that is going to break down to x. X and x multiply to x squared. I have a positive in front of my 18. I look ahead. I see that both my signs are going to be positive. Since that is a positive, both signs will be the same. I look ahead to see what that sign will be. And numbers that multiply to 18 and add to 11, that would be 9 and 2. So x plus 9 equals 0. X plus 2 equals 0. Minus 9. I get that x equals negative 9. I get that x equals negative 2. So I have zeros. At negative 2, negative 9, and a positive 2. Don't forget about the one that you add up here in your box. That's always a 0. So there's your zeros. Again, the 1, negative 1 strategy works a lot of the time. I try and show you some of these there where it doesn't, just to get you guys more practice. So if you do end up in a situation where it doesn't, you guys don't panic. But, okay, staying in 6.6 today, still find rational zeros. Now, on your printout, you guys probably have a nice, long, narrow box, okay? Again, just like yesterday, that means this is going to be a relatively long problem, okay? So if you're a large writer, you need to either conserve space or you have a lot of room on the back of this paper that you can continue this. So do whatever you want. That's fine. But you are designing a candle making kit. Each kit will contain 25 cubic inches of candle wax and a mold for making a model of the pyramid-shaped building in the Louvre Museum in Paris, France. You want the height of the candle to be 2 inches less than the length of each side of the candle's square base. What should your dimensions of your candle model be? So, square base, x and x, the height is 2 inches less, so that's how we come up with that x minus 2, or you can just get it from the picture. So first of all, before we get started, we need to figure out how do we find the volume of a pyramid. Okay, volume of a pyramid. 1/3 area of the base times the height. So my volume has to be, well, they tell me my volume is going to be 25, has to equal 1/3. Okay, they tell me that this is a square base. Okay, to find the area of the square, you multiply x times x to get x squared times the height, x minus 2. Now, let's get this into a situation that we want into a better arrangement for us, okay? Everybody hates fractions, okay? That's fine. Get rid of it. Multiply both sides by 3. So I end up with 75 is equal to, and I'm actually going to kind of do 2 steps in one here. I'm going to multiply x squared times x minus 2. So I'm going to end up with x cubed minus 2x squared. Okay? Simple 2 little steps there. Just save us some room here. And if we're going to find rational zeros, okay, our equation needs to be equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 75 from both sides. So the equation that I'm actually working with is x cubed minus 2x squared minus 75 is equal to 0. Okay, I just flipped that 0 to the right side. It just makes everybody feel a little better because that's where we're working with it. Now, any factors of 75? Okay, obviously 1. What else do we have? 75 is divided by 3, 5, 15, 25, and 75. And I need factors of 1, which are 1. So my possibilities are plus or minus 1, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 5, plus or minus 15, plus or minus 25, plus or minus 75. Now, if you want, go ahead, pause the video, take a look, and see which ones work, okay? The only way you guys are going to get better at these is you got to just keep trying these, seeing what happens. So, go ahead and do that. That would be my advice. Otherwise, I am going to, again, jump right into the answer since this is a video. You guys don't need to watch me get things that are not answers. I actually got to try this one all the way out to 5. Okay. Again, dealing with 25, having a volume of 25. They tell me that way up here. And 75. Okay. You just kind of get a lot of feeling of 5s. At least I do. And looking at our possibilities, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are all divisible by 5. So after 1 and -1 don't work. 3 and -3 aren't divisible by 5, but everything else is, so maybe give 5 a shot. Now, I am missing an x term, so I'm going to go 1, -2. Okay, -2 is in front of x squared. I do not have an x term, so I have to put that 0 in. Okay, that is crucial. And -75 at the end. And down here, what do we get? Drop the 1 below the line. Multiply by 5, you get 5. -2 plus 5 is 3. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 plus 0 is 15. 15 times 5 is 75, which gives me 0. So I have the equation x squared plus 3x plus 15. I look and ask myself, can I factor this? So I try here, and I go x and x. Sign in front of 15 is positive, so I'm going to go, they're going to be the same. I look ahead, sign in front of the 3 is positive, so both signs have to be positive. And I need numbers that multiply to 15 and add to 3, and I go, that's a pretty tough thing to get, so that's not going to happen. We have to go to another way. We go to our quadratic formula. So A is going to be 1, B is going to be 3, and C is going to be 15. So I'm going to go, okay, and let me just jot this down for you. Negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Okay, and by the magic of computers, I actually plug this in, and I get negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 minus 60. Okay, you guys can double check me on this. It all works out all over 2 times 1. And that is enough to tell me that whatever I get out of this quadratic formula is not an answer that I want to keep. Okay, 9 minus 60 is a negative 54. If I'm taking the square root of a negative number, I have now crossed into that complex plane. Therefore, that is not a dimension that I'm going to want to keep. So the base, to answer the final question that we're asking for, remember, we're looking for the dimensions of the candle, or the dimensions of the mold. So the base needs to be 5 by 5 inches, of course. The height needs to be 3 inches. Why? They told us we wanted it 2 inches less than the base. So, okay, situational, you got to be aware of your situation. I knew as soon as I got that complex answer, that's not something I need to be dealing with in terms of a pyramid height or base length. Okay, so that's why 5 is the only one that I want to keep. And there's your homework. You guys can take a look at those. Give them a try. We'll check this when I get back. Again, if you guys have questions, feel free to talk to each other. You guys are welcome to take a peek at my teacher's edition of the textbook if you need to. Otherwise, shoot me emails. I will do my best to keep on top of it. But keep in mind, I do not have a textbook with me, so if you need to ask a question, figure out a way to get the problem in there. That makes it a lot easier for me. Other than that, I will see you guys when I get back, and have a good night.